but I've got to show people this comment from the former US Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Her summation of Joe Biden and how he should be remembered in history is just astonishing. Have a look.
So he was in a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next?
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore, Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
It's just astonishing, Kristin. Mount Rushmore. Well, they have him lying down on Mount Rushmore after he's fallen off his bike or something.
I was just at Mount Rushmore a few years ago. It's just such a stunning sight. It makes you so proud to be an American. And the only thing that would make me more proud to be an American, Chris, is if I could go there and see Joe Biden right there next to Abraham Lincoln. He is just one of our country's greatest statesmen in all of our history. I mean, come on, this is all just laughable. These liberals, now that they have gotten rid of Joe Biden as a liability, they can go back to telling us he's the greatest thing ever. He's on top of his game. This is kind of what they do. And the American people at this point understand exactly what's going on. But of course, the Democrats have to do this because to admit that the president is completely gone would be to admit that he's got to step aside immediately and can't finish out his term. So they're just lying to us, and we all know it.
Yeah, it's transparent and it is embarrassing. Of course, in the meantime, the focus is going on to Kamala Harris. And people have been digging through some of her rather inane comments in the past. This one's gone nuts this week.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Now, as if that's not cringeworthy enough, Kristin, there's also an old clip from her a few years back trying to explain the concept of inflation. Have a look.
Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources.
It is such a worry, Kristin. Now, in the US, no doubt, and certainly even in Australia, those who criticise Kamala Harris, has happened to me already. If you criticise her for her ineptitude, you're attacked for apparently having a dim view of her because she's a woman and she's a woman of colour. But the point is, there's nothing about her background that should give anybody any confidence about her having the ability to be president.
Yes, and especially when you watch that first clip, that's who Kamala Harris is. She is the embodiment of a woke politician. People need to understand, in 2019, she was actually the most liberal senator in the United States. She is not a centrist. She is a far left progressive, and she needs to be called out on her record. She and Biden have destroyed this country's economy, destroyed our border, destroyed law and order. That is what people need to be focused on with Kamala Harris.
Yeah, well, speaking about Donald Trump, I don't know whether he's really found his line and length against her, a term we would use in cricket-playing nations. He's not really been able to put her on the back foot yet, I suppose. But I want to just show some of his campaigning. This is a rather unusual campaign event where he's received a cyber truck courtesy of online influencer Aidan Ross, who's obviously made plenty of money. And the cyber truck features what is now a very famous photo. Have a look.
Hey, that is beautiful. Am I going to close the door really quick? Just I want to show them the wrap. Sure. Check out this wrap and let me know your honest thoughts.
I think it's incredible. I think it's incredible.
I know we're not going to drive anywhere, but I was wondering if you wanted to listen to a song in here.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is nice.
Good Lord, Kristin. There's the former president who's running again, sitting in a cyber truck, listening to the mamas and papas, I think it is. You've got some strange politics going on in your country.
I I love that Trump is willing to talk to all of these people, though. I love that he's willing to go into a room with the black journalists and do an interview with them and talk to these Gen Z influencers. It's fantastic. What Trump needs to do, though, in addition to all of these interviews, is to keep the focus on policy and Kamala Harris's left-wing agenda. Do not let the Democrats turn this into an election about personality. That's what the Democrats are trying to do and make this all about Trump being a threat to democracy. If Trump focuses on policy and reaches out to these different constituencies, like young people, like minorities, he can win some of those voters. So that's what I hope to see from former President Trump.
We shall see. Thanks so much for joining us again, Kristin.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Yeah, after seeing that from Nancy Pelosi, I just had to double check on Mount Rushmore, right? Yeah, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and the great Teddy Roosevelt. They're the four up there. And you want to add on Joe Biden? These people have lost touch with reality, haven't they?